as an accomplished actor and a producer, I know that you're very intentional about the roles that you take, but also intentional about the way women are portrayed when you're producing. Do you believe that the industry has had or has a role to play in the way that women's bodies have become commoditized, right, and dehumanized in many ways?
Some of the problems we have in our industry when it comes to storytelling is the seeming inability to create strong female characters who are successful by the dint of sheer hard labor. It's always they're either successful because they're a witch, a bitch, or a whore, or because some man somewhere has bestowed that success on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we've contributed to this tremendously. And yes, we can also help to dismantle all these things. It's simple as individuals, just pick a side. And once you pick a side, let the content that you put out there, let it reflect your thoughts, let it reflect your position. Now, you can't censor art. You can't tell people what kind of art to put out there. But like I said, as individuals, we can do better. Just simply pick a side. When you're putting out your art, when you're creating your content, be conscious about the ideas that you're putting out there. Be conscious about the words that you're putting into a song. Be conscious about your female characterization. If you don't know how to write for strong women, there are people out there who have experiences that you can learn from and that you can draw from to create content that upholds the woman. So yes, we've contributed quite a bit to it, and we can also do a lot to take it down.
Mm-hmm. So, but how do you convince your male colleagues, right? Because they know what will sell. They know that if you put a woman shaking, her booty on a video, that's going on a film or whatever the case. If you put somebody that can be described as sexy and fresh or whatever the case might be, that will draw a bigger audience, right? And so, at the end of the day, the bottom line is money. Right. So how do you convince people who want to make a lot of money to pick a side?
To be honest with you, it's a hard sell, especially when you're talking in numbers and big numbers, especially.
Yeah.
But if you find yourself in a place of position, use your position to advocate for policy that ensure that there are checks and balances in place. As if you have the liver for it, you can say and this is where big content buyers come into place. You can actually put a policy in place to say that we will not be accept A, B, C, D, E. Just set yourself something that's going to go away pretty quickly.
What is the one thing that each of us can start to do today? Like we can actually start to do today to change the narrative of rape in Nigeria?
Okay, as individuals, we need to take control of our personal spaces. If, like I said before, if you're a person of influence, make sure that your stand is clear. If you have zero tolerance for the denigration of women and children, there's a large chance that your followers will do same. If you are an employer of men, ensure that you create a safe space for your work, clicking buttons and liking and retweeting, which is also very powerful in this day and age of social media. Get involved in advocacy. We don't all need to open up an NGO. There's several existing bodies who do the work. Join, get involved. There's so much work to be done. Not everybody is going to be on the front line. There are people working assiduously in the background. Find where your strengths are. Find a place where you can work. Find a place where you can contribute. Some people are, I call them first aid people. They're out there in the open. They're accessible. You can talk to them. Those are the first people you meet, and they can now refer you to people like you and other organizations who are on the front line and do the work long term. So each person who has taken a stand has to be responsible. Take control of your immediate environment, spread the word, have zero tolerance for these acts. Let it be known that you have zero tolerance for these acts, and make sure that the people who follow you, who support you, who say they believe in you, also do same.